Hi, good evening.
బాగుంది ఎలాగన ଖାଲି ଆଳୁ କଲେ ବା କହିନି ବା ଖାଲି ଆଳୁ ଆଉ କିଛି କହିଲୁ କି
Public subnet having internet access, right? So, while we're discussing about theoretical part at that time, I have given. So, what is the difference between public and private subnet? So, public subnet means we are allowing internet into the public subnet. Private subnet means we are not allowing the internet into the private subnet, right? So, I hope you got it. So, now we are going to deploy. First, I'll teach you how we need to create the public and private subnet with the help of one diagram, step by step. Then we are going to perform few practical session. Okay. So let's see guys here. So first we have to log in into our AWS console. So first we have to log in into our AWS console, right? So AWS account. This is AWS account, right? Got it guys. Now if you want to can use root user, if you want to can use IAM user, your wish. Your root user is your mail ID, right? Email ID. Excuse me guys. So with the help of your mail ID, you can log in into your AWS account, right? So by default, we are going to get one region, for example, NV. NV means North Virginia, right? So in this North Virginia region, by default, we have VPC. We know that default VPC, but we are not bothering about our default VPC. So we are trying to creating our own VPC, right? So now we are trying to creating our own VPC, right? Got it, guys? Excuse me. So now outline little bit thick, okay? This is good, right? So this is VPC. For example, I'm trying to creating my VPC. Okay. So this is my VPC. How to create the VPC, guys? We have to click create VPC. We have to navigate to the VPC. We need to click create VPC, right? So after that, we have to provide the CIDR. Okay. For example, today I'm trying to providing 192.168. Even wish if you want, you can provide 10.0.0. Or also it's not a problem. Okay, I'll do one thing. 10.0.0.0/16. 16 means how many combinations? 65,536 combinations we have. So this is VPC total combinations, right? So who's going to use 65,536 combination? No one, right? So that's why what we are doing, we are trying to create subnet. So already have given the information. You can say VPC is your home, subnet is your bedroom. Okay. Today we are trying to creating two subnets. Today we are trying to creating two subnets, guys. Okay. So let's see here. We are trying to creating two subnets here. So first subnet, right? Subnet 1. Subnet 1. Otherwise I'll provide. Directly I'll provide the name, okay? So this is pub subnet. Pub means public, guys. Right? and this is private subnet, right? So public and private subnets, two different subnets I'm trying to create. How to create the public subnet? Tell me. We have to provide the CIDR, right? That's it now. So /24 you can give minimum. 24, maximum 28, right? 28 means 11 instances. 24 means, yes guys, 24 means how many combinations? Super, Amrita, very good. So 256 minus 5. Super. So, very good, Aditi. Super, right? So is equal to 251. Total 251 instances we can launch into the subnet. Okay. So we can launch 251 instances into the subnet, and same, this 256 from where it is going to occupy? It is going to occupy from 65,536. Right. So from 65,536, how many subnets we can create into one VPC? Yesterday we discussed, right? How many subnets we can create into one VPC? I think day before yesterday. Very good, super Aditi, 200, right? 200 subnets we can create. Very good, Saho. So now /24. At least you peoples are good guys, really, compared to, so I should not say, compared to some other people. So before I'm taking one more batch, so those people not at all going to provide the response. Simply they are going to sit. So see how I'm going to feel. So I'm trying to teaching to one wall. Lonely in myself itself only I'm trying to teaching like that feeling I'm going to get. So 256. What I should do, Aditi, tell me. Like this people we have, what we should do. If I'm trying to asking, maybe sometimes I'm going to get some network issue, right? I thought like if you're not providing the like response, I thought like we have some network issue, so that's why I'm unable to get any kind of like messages. So I'm going to shout like whether you are getting or not. So whether you are listening or not, like that. So I'm unable to understand whether it's a network issue, whether it's a person's like means a student's issue. 251 instances we have. So here also we can launch maximum 251 instances. This is one subnet, this is one subnet. So those 256 we are going to occupy from 65,536 itself only, right? Okay, so first step, create VPC. Second step, create subnets. So first I'm going to create one public subnet and private subnet. How we are going to define this is public, this is private, like that? Let's see here. So next step, third step, what we need to do? Third step क्या करना चाहिए? IGW, very good, super. Right? We need to create IGW, Internet Gateway. So it is going to act like as a one router. So IGW. So this is IGW, Internet Gateway. Third step. Right guys? So this is Internet Gateway. So we need to create one Internet Gateway. Then what we need to do? We have to attach this IGW to VPC. So after creating IGW, you need to attach this IGW to the whom? VPC. Right? Okay. So this is third step. First step, create VPC. Second step, create subnets. Third step, create IGW. Fourth step, route table. Very good. Okay. Fourth step, we are going to create route table. For example, we are trying to creating one route table here. So now I'm trying to creating two route tables, guys. Okay, one is private route table, another one is public route table. Actually, private route table doesn't require, but for understanding purpose, I'm trying to creating because we are into very initial stage, right? Public RT. Okay, public RT means public route table, right? So then what we need to do after creating the public route table? I'm trying to providing the name, that's it, okay, for identification purpose. You can give any name. It's not like this. You need to provide public route table, public subnet, private subnet, like that. We have to associate with subnet. With which subnet we need to use for association? This one. Okay. So this one. So for example, public subnet association. Okay. So public subnet association, right? Next, what we need to do? We need to add IGW with 0.0 0.0.0/0. This is default routing prefix. Those both the entries we need to add into route table. So let's see here. This one, right? And this one. So this one, we have to allow this one. Clear? I hope you got it right. So now this one and this one, both we need to add. So now we are allowing public subnet along with the IGW, right? Means we are allowing the internet into the public subnet, right? So now it is going to become public subnet. Okay. For private subnet, route table, if you want, you can create, or otherwise you can leave it, but create one route table, because we are going to discuss about NAT concept, right? So that's why create one route table, PRI route table, private route table. So okay, so here you can associate with private subnet. So, but you should not provide the IGW. Got it, guys? You should not provide the IGW entries here. If you're providing IGW entries, what will happen? It is going to become public. So okay, it is going to become public. Very good, right, Amrita? So now we have to add this one. We have to add this one, right? So private underscore subnet, we are trying to associating with private subnet, this route table. I hope you clear. First step, we need to create VPC. Second step, we have to create the subnets. One subnet with public, one subnet name with the private, right? So third step, we need to create IGW, internet gateway. Then we need to attach this IGW to the VPC. Then we need to create the private route table. So with the help of private route table, we are going to associate the IGW, and then we are going to associate the public subnet, and we are going to add the routing along with the IGW using 0.0.0.0 0.0.0.0/0. This is the default routing prefix, right? So like this we are going to create the VPC, right? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to launch the instance here. I'm going to launch the two different instances into two different subnets. For example, one instance I'm trying to launching into the subnet. Okay, so one instance I'm trying to launching into one subnet, and one more instance I'm trying to launching into private subnet. Okay, so this is one instance, EC2 instance. Am I audible? Can you hear me? Network issue only, right? Okay. Now can you hear me? Am I audible now? Right, good. Okay. So now we are trying to launching one instance into public subnet and one more instance into private subnet. Okay, private instance, public instance. Okay. So can we access the private instance now? Is it possible? Can we access the private instance, guys? Is it possible? No. Can we access the public instance now? Yes, we can access. Okay. So now assume this is our computer. So this is our computer, right? So with the help of this computer, we are trying to sending the request. So we are trying to sending the request. Right? So this is our client machine. Okay, it may be Windows client or whatever it may be, right? This is our client machine, right? Then we are trying to sending the request. Assume this we are trying to sending the request through internet, right? So this is internet using putty. Very good. So this is internet using putty only, but you should have the internet, then only we can access the AWS services, otherwise it's not possible. So now we are trying to sending the request through internet using putty. Okay, so putty, SSH applications, you can state, not only putty, we have many, right? Mobile Extreme, Kitty, Mputty, like this we have many things. So putty, SSH. Okay, so putty, SSH. So now we are trying to sending the request, SSH request means SSH protocol. It is going to carry forward the request to whom? To IGW. To IGW. IGW, it will send the request to whom? Yes, guys. IGW, it will send the request to whom? Route table. Very good. So IGW, it will send the request to the route table. The request, it is going to carry forward into public subnet. So before carry forward into the public subnet, we have two checkpoints, right? Very good, super. NACL having all traffic, right? So here we have the security group also. So NACL is a subnet level security, SG is instance level security. Yesterday we discussed, right? SG is a instance level security. So now we have to allow SSH. Okay, so it will check the SSH request. Okay, so we are going to send the request to whom? NACL. It is going to carry forward the request to security group. Security group, it will check whether the SSH protocol is available or not, and then it will carry forward the request to whom? EC2 instance. Then EC2 instance, it will provide the response to SSH security group. Security group, it will send the response to NACL to route table to EIGRP, sorry, IGW, then IGW to, I hope you clear. Into our machine, we are going to get the EC2 instance, right? So now I'm trying to accessing this instance, private instance. Very good, Aditi, right? So I'm trying to accessing the private instance. Can we access the private instance? I'm trying to sending the request through IGW. IGW doesn't have the communication. IGW and the private route table doesn't have the communication, right? If we having the communication in between IGW and private route table, then only it is going to send the request to the private instance. Yes, no. But at present there is no communication, right? There is no link in between the IGW and private route table, right? For the private instance. Hope you clear. Yes, no. Right? Okay. Now, how we need to access this instance? For example, assume this is database server. This is database server. I'm a database engineer.